Hello, welcome here. Well, since you are here, then you probably have a box of videotapes with precious memories recorded on them. Your VHS player and your cameras are gone by the wayside, and you want to be able to get those memories put onto one of these USB flash drives and watch them as digital files. That's an excellent idea, and you'll be able to play them easily at any time, and you can store your big box of tapes in the loft. But don't ever get rid of those completely. Although digital storage devices are much more reliable these days, they can still go corrupt, and you'll want to save the tapes, just in case. As for the process of converting from videotape to a digital file, there are places you can go, such as Costco if you have a membership, or the individual like me. Whether it's a big box store or an individual freelancer, I've noticed that they all have slightly different ways of going about it, but most seem to charge by the hour of footage that they're recording. And what you'll end up with are long files that were captured from your tapes, and they'll be very large file sizes. They would basically be a duplicate of what the tape was. So if you had Christmas 1993 and then your wedding in 1994 right after it on the same tape, the file they give you will be a duplicate of that. You would still have to fast forward past Christmas to watch your wedding. Some are offering this service with DVDs instead of digital files. These are also going by the wayside now. But if you went to somewhere like Costco and you have a tape with your birthday in 1987 and then your vacation right after it, but you ran out of tape on your vacation, so you put another tape in, you'll end up with two DVDs. You'll have your birthday and half your vacation on one, and then the other half of the vacation on the other one. And that's how you'd have to watch it. That's not ideal, is it? These services are simply capturing your videos and charging you for the length of time they're recording it, I think. What you want to have is you want to have each individual event as a separate file. If you want to watch Christmas 1993, then you just want to play Christmas 1993. Another option, if you still have your camera working and your VHS player going, is you can buy one of these devices and you can install the software on your computer. You can have a go at capturing them yourself. I've had a few of these over the years. They all had their quirks. One of the common problems is the audio and video capture is out of sync. It's so frustrating to watch your mouth move, but then your voice is late. They also create huge files that would need a big external hard drive to keep them on. But they're often too big for the media player on your devices to even play them. 2 hours worth of video capture with one of these would produce a 6 GB file. So what you would need to do after you capture them is get them on the video editor, realign the audio so it's back in sync. And once you've got them on there, there's lots you can do to fix up these files and make them more watchable. But maybe you don't know about all that stuff. That might sound like a lot of work, or a lot of learning, or simply beyond what you want to get involved in. So this is where I come in. I offer the service of converting your VHS and camera tapes to digital files in the North Kildonan area of Winnipeg. First I'll capture them, then I'll fix the audio. Now if you had one of these sorts of cameras from the 1990s, the chances are that the audio was recorded in mono, because there was only the one plug. That's for the video, and that's just had one plug for the audio. Oh, I can convert the audio into stereo. Now they also recorded with a background hiss, and it was a bit faint. I can remove the hiss and I can amplify the volume. Now if you had one of these mini DV cameras from the 2000s, this had much better audio capture. There's not really much more I can do to improve the audio from these. These were good already. The next thing I do is I get that large file from each tape on the editor. And then when your Christmas ends and your vacation begins, I split the file. You get individual MP4 files for the different occasions. No more fast forwarding past Christmas to watch your wedding. Likewise, if your vacation is recorded on 2 tapes, I'll join them together to create one file. Most people give me tapes with detailed labels on them, which is really helpful, so I can name your files accurately, such as Christmas 1993, and then you can further rename them to whatever you want when I've given them back to you, such as Christmas 1993 where Auntie Mabel fell in the pie. Now, do you remember way back when you used to record from your video camera to a VHS tape? The VHS might wind forward a couple of seconds after you press stop before you start recording the next thing. So when you play it back and you get to the end of the recording you did before, you get a few seconds of blue screen or that white snowy screen before the next one starts. And then you might get a jumpy start to the footage as the VHS player does that tracking thing. Well, I can take most of that out, and I can apply fade in and fade out effects so that your footage doesn't have such an abrupt start and finish like it did on the tape. Then there is always that one tape that got slightly damaged and there's an area of the screen that you can't watch, like a line across the bottom or the side or something. But if I come across that, then I can zoom in on the focal point a little bit and it crops out the line. These cameras, they used to shake a lot. They weren't quite so easy to hold steady. If I come across bits of your footage that's shaky, I can apply some stabilization. Once I've finished with them on the editor, I can put them out as nice little MP4 files that have an appropriate file size to the length of video, which your modern players will be able to handle, and you won't need a 3 terabyte hard drive to keep them all on. So after all that, you must be wondering, how much does it cost? It's simply $10 for each tape, irrespective of what kind of tape. I can do VHS, VHS-c, 8mm and mini DV. I don't charge more for longer tapes, even with 4 to 6 hours on them. For the odd long one that you give me, you'll have others that have less than half an hour. It all balances out as far as I'm concerned. I also don't charge for tapes that I find are blank, or tapes that are deteriorated beyond being able to capture anything that's still watchable. Now, if you have a tape that got damaged in the machine or even snapped, it's not necessarily a lost cause. Bring it along anyway. I have managed to cut out the damaged parts and stick them back together to capture the rest of the footage. We might well be able to save those memories. So, if you have a selection of tapes that you'd like me to convert for you, I'd be pleased to help. All you have to do is bring them here and leave them with me. I'll usually have them ready within 2 to 4 weeks. If you have a large flash drive with a lot of space on, by all means bring that too. If you don't have one yet, wait till I've got your tapes done, and I'll tell you what size of flash drive you'll need to get, and then you can swing by, I'll transfer the files onto it, and I'll give it back to you along with all of your tapes. As I mentioned before, you'll want to keep those safe somewhere just in case. Bye for now.